Hello, and on today's Slice of Madness, on VR Vertigo, the Steam Machine, and this. So let's start with the Steam Machine. Well, it's all looking rather good, isn't it? Now, this is a VR channel, and of course the Steam Machine plays directly into VR, because I think that the VR frame is part of a, as I've called it previously, a suite of kit, which is meant to be viewed in the round. The controller looks excellent, by the way. And I'm unusually, I think, for a VR player, very pro controller in VR. There's this huge, and I think quite mistaken, push towards VRAF, as it's called, which is, VR immersion extra. I don't think that's necessary. I think that, in actual fact, is holding a lot of people back. And there is a real element of, if we could have hand tracking, we could touch things, but we've come up against a problem there, and that is when we grab things, in real life, there's nothing to grab. We grab something, it's like we still want something in our hands. And we're all used to controllers. And so I think this push towards VRAF, whereas it's very welcome and there is a place for it, there's a place for everything, I think we are overlooking the fact that the controller is the most accessible interface. We're all used to it. It works. If it isn't broken, don't fix it. And so that's my thought on controllers, and in particularly this new trackpad controller that Steam have released for the Steam Machine and the PC and pretty much anything else you want to control with it, which is something that I think is wonderful. Any company making kit nowadays, rather than doing what Apple do, which is introduce their kit into a closed system, because, Apple, and make the ecosystem that you introduce the kit into fully open. If your kit speaks to everything, any peripheral, any PC, you could use it for other things. We so often see in other applications Xbox controllers being used. That, in my opinion, is the way forward. And I think that's the way forward for all kit. Be they controllers, be they headsets, whatever it might be. So, Steam. Steam have built all this kit now with a VR headset, which has, on the horizon, I think, great promise. Back catalogues are, for me, the big value proposition of any console, which the Steam can now legitimately lay claim to. It is by far the most valuable asset. And this brings me nicely to Ubisoft. And the wounds that Ubisoft are currently experiencing were self-inflicted. It's bleeding out and it's only got itself to blame. So Tencent swoop in and, at a cost to the Guillemot family, will save Ubisoft by taking some of the IP and resurrecting it in who knows what bastardized form. My personal guess is that they're going to take some treasured, beloved IP and turn it into, or attempt at least, to turn it into a live service game thing. With regards to VR, Ubisoft, it appears to me at least, are not only missing a trick, they're once again self-inflicting a wound on themselves that is entirely avoidable. With the release of the Steam frame, VR is aching to get born. There's no doubt that it will gain steam. You see what I did there? So Ubisoft developed Assassin's Creed Nexus for the Quest, I believe, and it wasn't well received. There seems to be this fascination with building from the ground up brand new games and then not quite putting everything that you can behind them, not quite spending enough money, not quite putting in enough talent or thought. And that's what you get. A game which was a bit, at best, and who wants? Nobody. I'm a gamer. I like VR gaming. I've been a gamer since year dot. And what I can tell you is I yearn to play games that I played years ago. I yearn to play games that I played months ago. But guess what? They're all locked up in back catalogues. They're locked up in back catalogues, kind of just hanging about, being flat, with not many people playing them. The time has come for companies to recognise what treasures they have right underneath their noses and to unlock those treasures for the benefit of all who play VR. Because with the emergence of games from back catalogues, more people will be attracted to VR. There's no doubt of this in my mind. People who haven't been into gaming for years will look and think, Tomb Raider in VR? God, I haven't played Tomb Raider in decades. Wouldn't it be great to go back and just be in the game rather than just play it as I used to? There's a really tangible hook here, and the bait that's required are games in the back catalogue. Now is the time to unlock all of those treasures waiting to be born and explored. Now, I don't think, and I've yet to be proven right or wrong on this, I don't think that the Steam frame is as good a headset as the PSVR2. And I say that in a very kind of woolly way because, we're still not entirely sure. I've not yet seen a side-by-side comparison. Linus from Linus Tech Tips, a great channel, did his hands-on with the Steam frame, and he did say it's not as clear. Not as the PSVR2, but he made a general term when he had it on. Oh, it's not as clear. But he has tested the Meganex and other high-end headsets. Was he referring potentially to the PSVR2 or those very high-end headsets? You would imagine that the Steam frame is in actual fact competing more with the PSVR2 and MetaQuest end of the market, of which the PSVR2 stands head and shoulders above, I think, than the Meganex, the $2,000 or the grand, just over $1,000 headsets. So Linus said that it wasn't as clear. And that is kind of worrisome. Because you want the new anything to be superb. And I don't know this is the case, but if you're looking through a headset and it's not quite as glorious as you want it to be, then you have to ask yourself, quite sincerely, is that the headset I want to be using for the Steam back catalogue? Because I'm going to, at some point, buy a PC to play the modded games on. But will I have to now? Is there a way, using the PC adapter, that I can use my PSVR2 with the Steam machine? It's a PC after all, they keep telling us. We still don't know the cost of this console. The general statements around it are they want to bring it in under $1,000. Same for the headset. Controller, what would you reckon the controller went for? 80, 90 bucks? 100 bucks? 120 bucks? I've said previously that I thought that the suite, the 3 items, the Steam frame, the Steam machine and a controller, probably about 2k. I'm kind of revising that now slightly, maybe 1.8, 1.9, 1,800 bucks, something like that. Because they have to price it competitively. That's where the success lies. Steam has recognised what Sony PlayStation certainly didn't recognise, that their back catalogue is in fact, as far as VR is concerned, the treasure that will propel them forward, but is currently holding them back because they're not utilising it. Steam has recognised this. And I think as we move forward, Steam has an opportunity by sheer volume of numbers in the back catalogue to destroy, or at least trounce, PSVR2. And that doesn't make me happy. I love this headset. Sony PlayStation need to act. They need to act quickly because the train is leaving and PlayStation aren't even at the station. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe and share. And until next time, bye-bye.